Everybody. And major shout outs, obviously, to Tamara and Mana and Zinan and the whole Grassroots Dem HQ fellows group that I was just having a chance to chat with. Just really, really appreciate all the work you're doing to make sure that Democrats know that they need to turn out and vote. This is an essentially important election. A bunch of the fellows are actually from different parts of the country. We've got someone from Texas and some from Oregon and various places in the United States. And we were talking about how in some states, certainly Texas, there's an effort right now to try to restrict access to the ballot box, make it harder for people to participate in the process. We've worked really hard to make it easier. We've created a whole system where now we have vote centers where people can vote for 10 or 11 days before election day, anywhere in the county of their residence. They can also, of course, vote by mail as well. They can drop their ballot off in a secure, kind of ballot drop-off box. There's these official drop-off boxes that are all over the state. So there's lots and lots of ways to safely and securely participate in the election. And in the end of the day, our job is to turn out Democrats, turn out people who know that this is a ridiculous waste of taxpayer money, who know that this is an attempt to try to derail so much of the progress that we've been making in the state of California, and to try to impose some of the, I think, really incredibly problematic and destructive policies that have been imposed in other parts of the country. In the end of the day, we've got so many issues that we're working on up here in Sacramento. I'm here in Sacramento right now because I'm about to drive back down to LA after making a couple calls with you guys. We just ended session last night, and I just think about all the bills that we've been able to pass over the past few years to try to expand access to healthcare, to protect our environment and strengthen environmental regulations. The things that we do to try to ensure that women have reproductive rights, and that there's a more of a social safety net where we're looking out for our fellow Californians. And you just think what a Governor Larry Elder would do to these bills. What sort of administration would he run? Also, so much of our regulatory system here in California depends on an administration that actually takes these kinds of values seriously. We hand a lot of the role and responsibility of protecting our environment, for example, over to our administration. And to have an EPA and a Department of like Fish and Wildlife and Natural Resources run by appointees from Larry Elder is just unthinkable from an environmentalist perspective. And I just think about the kind of damage that he would cause on so many levels of California state government. And I keep talking about Larry Elder because he's the alternative, right? Let's face facts. We've looked at the polls. He's way ahead. There's no one even close. That's who the electorate seems to have consolidated around as an alternative. And he's just so unacceptable, especially when you compare him to a guy like Gavin Newsom, who has stood up for things that we care about for a long, long time. I mean, let's not forget, he was the man who stood up for marriage equality back when George W. Bush was trying to shut down those efforts many, many, many years ago. And his track record has been very strong ever since. So the issue here is making sure that Democrats turn out and vote. We know this is a blue state. If Democrats vote, we're gonna win this election. But we also know that this is an election. It's a special election. It's going to be a lower turnout. We know that there's a portion of the Republican base that's really fired up, and but we also know that once Democrats and once mainstream Californians hear about what's going on, they get fired up too, in a good way. That's why we started to see the poll numbers tick up. That's why we started to see the ballots returned on our side tick up. We also know, of course, that Republicans are very suspicious of the entire electoral system, and they're more likely to wait until the end. So while I am feeling good about the numbers that we see in terms of the vote by mail ballots that are coming in, we have to be vigilant, and we have to be vigilant on multiple levels. I think just winning this, if we were to win this election 51-49, that would send a shockwave, and we'd obviously still keep Gavin in office, and that would be a good thing. But we have to defeat this by a lot. I think we have to close the door on this attempt, and I think if we do so, it'll send message all across the country that people are fed up with this Trumpist approach to government, and that they want to that they believe in a brighter vision for the future, which is what we're trying to present. So I just want to thank you so much for your participation in these calls. This is how it happens, just getting people to know about this recall, making sure they know about how to vote, making sure they know about how easy it is and how they can participate, getting them to think about the process they're going to take to get their ballot in. This is what makes a difference as to whether people actually turn their ballot in or not. And so what you're doing is helping to ensure that they're going to participate, that their voice is going to be heard, and then hopefully we defeat this thing come Tuesday. So your participation today is immensely important. We've got so many people on the phone, on the call today, and I just I'm going to be making calls all the way through to the close of polls on Tuesday. I know you're going to be putting a lot of heart and soul into this effort, and I just want to thank you very much for your work, because I'll tell you one thing, my life will be a lot harder if we have a new governor. And so just from a very selfish perspective, I just want to appreciate all of the hard work that's going in to making sure we put a stop to this ridiculous, expensive, costly right-wing recall.